Hey everyone, I'm back. We're gonna try this again because I really want to chat with my mom. So, my mom actually. Ooh, how can I get rid of this? Okay. Guys, I'm also proud of myself because I started the last live and this one without flipping the camera around, which is the first time. If she joins. Mom! You did it!
Hi, Jamie.
I'm proud. I'm proud you made it on. Okay, that was difficult, was it? So, question time, Mom. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good.
Yeah?
Busy. Yeah,
How's work? Did you have work today?
I did. I've actually been on 3 meetings already.
Already? Oish. That's a lot. You look nice though. I like your
Oh,
hair, the glasses.
you know, I tried. You said I had to be on film, or on tape or whatever this is.
For everybody, my mom doesn't like usually taking pictures too much or like being on camera. She's more like the supportive person. So this is like new, and that's why I'm so excited to do this live with her. So mom, just in general, for you and like being where you are by the water and stuff, how has it been since we're all social distancing and trying to stay home as much as possible?
Um, I I'm really lucky because I live close to the woods and I live on a river, so I have plenty of places I can take a walk and I can be outside and do a lot of things, but not be around people. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm very lucky that way, and I have a great view. I mean, the river
Mm-hmm.
is absolutely gorgeous. So um, it's really, really nice. It's not bad. I mean, I
Yeah.
miss people.
And you said a sub went out yesterday, right?
Yeah. Some rain came back yesterday,
Oh,
and
came back.
even
So my mom lives by the sub base.
yes,
So
and
that's
even though
why.
there's still people standing outside the top of the sub, it's the weirdest thing. It's just like a
Yeah.
movie.
And so how do you feel like COVID-19 has affected like Chantel, my sister, for anybody that doesn't know, in a sense, like from her usual day to day to like how it is now with her.
Um, she used to go out for a day program. We have a individual day program, which means we set up her day that for all things that she likes to do. So she volunteers for Meals on Wheels. She has volunteered at school systems before. She's volunteered at long-term care centers before. She had a dog treat business that she did herself, and she does chair yoga. We try to get her to the YMCA to do swimming. So she was very active out in the community.
Mm-hmm.
So for her, it's now trying to find activities in the house for her to do with her staff, because we still have staff coming in for her because I'm working and Cress is working. So she is planting a garden. She has planted
Oh, yeah.
flowers. She makes us really nice cookies and brownies, and they again can go out right here in our neighborhood and take walks. So she's been able to do some things. I think she misses contact with many people because Chantel,
Mm-hmm.
she's such a social butterfly.
Yeah.
Um, only being with the same set of people, like everyone's well, not me, because for Chantel, mom's the best. Um,
Yeah.
but other people, she looks at them like, "Go you again?" But
Yeah.
she just loves life. She's happy. She's easygoing. So it has changed a little bit, and it has slowed down the activities that she can participate in, and even her volunteer work. But she's getting by.
Yeah. And she still has the same two staff that come in, right?
Well, yep.
Just two?
So her
Or
day
is
program.
it just Kia now?
No, Akia comes at night, and then Tanya comes during the day.
Oh,
So
okay.
we limit how many people are working with her as well.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I know she's living it up. I mean, she gets to watch SpongeBob, so
And Dora
and
and
Dora and all this stuff. So I'm
yeah,
sure
oh, and
she's living it up.
Dora.
But I know she's social, so not having like as many people to be around
Yeah,
is tough.
she misses
But
that.
yeah. So what are some things that you've been considering now, like concerns you've realized you've had during COVID-19 that you wouldn't necessarily have had in the past? Like what concerns has COVID-19 raised for you as like a mom, as yourself, for Chantel, with all of us? So
Um, I think the biggest concern is Samantha was supposed to come home and
mm-hmm.
her leave got canceled the day before she left. So for me, you know me as a mom, I don't have
Mm-hmm.
access to my kids. You know, I like my kids, you know, I like them around. Um, so I miss them. I miss all of you guys. Chantel being here, I think my biggest concern was really limiting how many people came and work with her. That's why it's limited to 2, because if
Mm-hmm.
she goes to the hospital, they're not letting people in. And
Mm-hmm.
Chantel can't communicate, and Chantel can't push a nurse's button for help.
Yeah.
So that's throughout this whole thing, that has been my big worry, is making sure she stays healthy, because I know if she has to go to a hospital, I can't go. And
Yeah.
that scares me more than anything else.
Yeah. That makes sense. I know. Cause like I remember when she would like go to the hospital a lot, when she was having stomach issues, and like all of us were able to go. And now, especially because they're trying to limit the amount of people in hospitals, there's there wouldn't be anybody there that understands her like we do and like how you do. So yeah, that's definitely scary.
I was there at every hospitalization. I've been there for all of her surgeries, and I stay overnight with her. She's never
Mm-hmm.
left a hospital because of her inability to communicate. So
Mm-hmm.
that's, you know, that has been my biggest fear. And luckily, we've been really safe. And so we've been
Mm-hmm.
very lucky.
Yeah, definitely. So being a mom, just in general, is it what you expected being a mom would be like? What are some things you didn't expect about being a mom, and what are the things that you like love about
Okay. Well, you know this about me. I grew up saying I never want kids. I never wanted to
it?
get kids, and here I am with 3. It is the best ever. I love being a mom more than I love anything else in the entire world. I am so blessed. And I think the reason I like it is because each of my kids have taught me something that I would have never explored for myself. Um, Chantel has taught me kindness. She has taught me love. She has taught me joy. The girl wakes up with a smile. She goes to bed with a smile. If we all lived our life like Chantel, we would all be happy people. Samantha is my deep thinker. She thinks, she's a planner. She is calculating. She thinks things through. She likes order. She is structured. She's a minimal. She is not a talker. And then I have you. And you said I had to wear makeup sometimes. Um, you know, do my hair. Like, you do pageants, for goodness gracious. You do dances. You want people to pay attention to you. And I'm not like that at all. Um, and so I learned all these things. And I think it's great to be able to support you in your all 3 in your individuality. And I'm so proud that you guys can all be just who you want to be. And my job is just to support that and to do whatever I can to make sure you guys are happy with who you are. And that's all I really have ever wanted for all 3 of you. But really, being a mom is the best. Doesn't mean there's not tough times, but I love it more than like I said, it's the best. Love it, love it, love
Yeah.
it.
I always remember like when I was like first getting into modeling and pageants and just like all throughout the beginning of my careers, that you would always say like, oh, something along the lines of, I will always support you through like whatever you want to do, but I will never work harder than you at something you want to do. And so like
Yeah.
that's something I always like stuck with, and I was like, then I always know my mom will be there, but like obviously I have to put in more work if it's something that I want to do. So
And I've
I
always
was
said that all of you, I will support whatever you want to do, but it's got to be more work for you than it is for me. Yeah. I don't want to fight you to take you anywhere. So with pageants, you know me, I tried to talk you out. Do you really want to do a pageant this year? You don't have to. It's okay. No, Mom, I want to. Okay. Let's go buy a dress.
So what is one of your favorite family memories?
Gosh, I don't know. I think one of my favorite memories is at my sister's wedding.
I don't
So
remember that at all.
You were a flower girl, and you look so nice and cute in your dress, and you just look beautiful. And then your hair got to be your hair after a while. And Samantha was all dressed up, and Chantel was all dressed up, and we all went and we danced at the reception, and you were dancing, and you were a maniac like you always are. And Samantha did her quiet little, she danced, but didn't want anybody to watch her. And then Chantel, I had her out on the dance floor in her wheelchair, swinging her around in her wheelchair. And she said, "Oh, I want to come up." So I picked her up, and she was 11, but you know me, I've got sturdy hips. Picked her up, and we danced around the dance floor. And we had a great time. Photo. And then I couldn't keep doing that because, she's heavy. My brother did the same thing. And then his wife did the same thing. Nice to see the family embracing all of you guys, but also Chantel in that way. But it's just a good memory. We have a family photo of all of us, and I love that. It's just a really nice time where we all just had a great time together. We were always a very busy family, so those type of moments were really nice for me.
Yeah, I always think about that, like, especially when I got into my like later teen years and I was able to drive, like that's when I fully realized that's when I fully realized that like how busy our schedules were, because I remember like I would wake up in the morning to go to high school, and then you would already be out for work, and then I would come home from dance like late at night, and then everyone would be asleep, and like everybody had their like days already and they did their own things. And then finally on the weekends, like when I would come up at like during the afternoon waking up late, and like everybody would be like on the couch and someone would be reading and Sam would be in her room, and just like things like that I really like. And also I just love when like new friends would come over to the house and we would go through the photo albums, because I always thought it was funny. And then also I always love when I bring up my dream, or not my dreams, my memories. Let me say that. Everybody tells me it's dreams, but like I'll always say like, "Oh, Sam like locked me downstairs and like tied me to a pole and like wouldn't let me leave." And I remember that so much. And then everybody keeps telling me it was a dream. It was not a dream. It happened. She's secretly evil.
I think my favorite time with you was driving you to dance. It wasn't that far away, but we could talk, and it was just us. And I think even though it was great that you could drive yourself, I missed those moments in the car with you. When I was able to drive you to school, I was able to drive you to dance, because you know me, I drove you everywhere. Not that I have a specific memory of one conversation, but those times in the car with you, and the times we'd get to dance and you didn't get out of the car because we were talking. When I miss that. When you drove and you kind of planned your own life, it such an empty, I had such an emptiness, such an emptiness within me. And again, like being a mom, so I like being with my kids. So it was with you, I probably miss that more than anything.
Yeah. Oh, you're so cute, Mom. So somebody wants to know, which of my accomplishments are you most proud of?
You're academic.
My
I
academic ones?
one, I was never a bright student. Um, but you being as busy as you are and always being a high honor student and making the dean's list at school, holy cow. What what commitment, and just I have to say I'm most proud of that. Um, you have such a strong work ethic and you go for your dreams. But I think out of everything, your academics, like, wow, it's incredible to me.
Thanks, Mom. Okay, pop quiz. What is my favorite, what would I say, baking good that you make?
Oh, my snickerdoodles.
Snickerdoodles? What about monkey bread? Oh,
Ooh,
no.
you like snickerdoodles best.
Yeah, I do. But like monkey bread when it first comes out of the
Yeah.
oven,
Yes, that's awesome.
beautiful. Oh, for anybody that doesn't know, my mom gets a lot of the recipes that we use from my grandmother and her mom. And so all of the recipes are on like these little note cards and they're in cursive. And I can't read cursive because I never learned it. They don't teach it in school anymore. So I'm still holding you, Mom, to the fact that you said you would translate everything and make it so that I can bake, because I don't like cooking, but I like baking. Baking's good because you get sweet treats after.
Yes,
So
it is a deal. I'm going to type them all up for you.
thank you for my non-cursive reading mind. Thank you. um, what else can I ask? What are some misconceptions that people often have about families that have a member with a disability?
One, that we're all sad. One
I'm sorry, that was fun.
that we feel sorry for ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
and that we can't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Chantel has been on a train. She's been on a cruise. She has done everything with us. We are a family. Really kind of did everything together. When Samantha had a basketball game, we were all there.
Mm-hmm.
We all did everything. And I think the biggest misconception is because of Chantel, we can't participate in those kind of things. And that's the biggest misconception. And
Mm-hmm.
in our family, anyway, we don't feel sorry for Chantel and we make her do her part.
Yeah.
Because she plays disabled really well.
Oh, she does. It's so annoying.
And so I think that's the biggest misconception, is that we're missing parts of things other people can do because we have a child with a disability in it. So not true.
When you said that she plays disabled so well, she does. For anybody that doesn't know, I know, like, there's a bunch of stories, but one that I remember is like when Chantal would get a new staff member, she would pretend like she can't use a fork or like feed herself. So then I think you told me the story. So like you came in and she was like, the staff member was feeding Chantel. And that's like my mom, that's like her pet peeve. Like she wants Chantal to feed herself. And and so my mom kind of looked at Chantel and was just like, what? And Chantal would just do like her little like grin and just like kind of laugh, like, yeah, she fooled the staff member. Because Chantal could feed herself perfectly fine. And so she's good. Little sneaky little one. I would get mad when I was younger because like we all had our chores at home and I hated doing the dishes, like putting the dishes away, doing anything like that. And I talked to my mom and I was like, why doesn't Chantel have to do the dishes? Why doesn't she have to clean them? And I was so mad because like I just grew up with the idea that she like does her part, and so I was just like, why can't she do the dishes? I don't want to do the dishes. And that's one of the things that probably she couldn't really stand up and put the dishes on the shelf. I would get so mad because whenever like somebody would come, they'd be like, oh, poor Chantel, and I'd be like, what are you talking about? Like,
Right.
that doesn't make sense. So that got me all the time.
She vacuums.
She vacuums. She does vacuum. You gotta move her in the chair though, but she'll put it all the way back and forth.
She does.
That's funny. I always think it's funny and make fun of her when we're at basketball games, like when we go all the time, or any sports event.
The start.
The buzzer goes off and she like jumps, and then I just kind of laugh. And then people like look at us like we are crazy because like we're making fun of Chantel, but it's like, it's Chantel. She knows everything that's going on. She just always gets startled when the buzzer goes off. And she makes fun of me all the time. Like, for one thing, she has a sign for like everybody in our family, and for me, she doesn't really have a sign. She just shakes her head no and laughs. I get so frustrated when she does that. But yeah, that's Chantel for you.
And she talks over you all the time.
Oh my goodness, yes. I did an event right after winning Team USA, and I went and spoke about People First Language, and I brought her up to the front with me, and the entire time, she's very loud when she talks, so she spoke over me the entire time, and she does that anytime I talk, no matter where we are, no matter who we're with. She does that so much, and I get so annoyed because she knows what she's doing.
She does. Oh, because you're the baby. So
I know, and she's the oldest, so like she gets to make fun of me. It's not fair. Whatever. So do you have any advice for others who have family members or friends that have disabilities during this time? Ways to make possibly things easier, possible resources, just how to care for them in their own home, or if you can't, go to their house or wherever they are staying, how to still stay connected and help them out?
I think, we've done Zoom with other family members. Just if you can't be with them, make sure they still see your face, make sure they still know you're there. The one thing with individuals with disability, they have tons and tons of people in and out of their lives if they have support, and they come and go with a drop of the hat sometimes, and it's very unfortunate. And so as a family member, you have to know you're that constant person. You're that person that they count on just to be there. And it doesn't mean you have to be there next to them. It doesn't mean that you have to live with them, but you have to be that person that's there for them. So just make sure you're still there for them. And, in this time, if you're stuck in the house, just find stuff to do, hang out, just you know them best. And so how can you keep them entertained and you entertained? And I think the biggest thing is know when you need a break. Know when you have to ask for help and say, I need a break, because it really is okay. I used to think that I should be embarrassed that I have people come in and provide support for Chantel. And it is very difficult to have someone in your home taking care of your child while you're in the home as well. But now I see the benefit for me, for my health, and for Chantel and her ability to relate to others. So I think one of the big thing is, if you're struggling, just ask for help. But just keep as routine oriented as you can. Make sure you know that you're the predictable person. So that would kind of be my.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, one last pageant question for you. And then I'll release you from being on social media. What has been your overall, if you can think of one, or if you need to, pageant memory, whether it be with me or just like any experience you've had while at a pageant?
Things I've learned is I have to keep certain things in my pocketbook that run out easily. A safety pin, thread and needle, A comb, hairspray, and bobby pins should
Yes.
always be a person at every time for anybody to use. Like, it's not just for who you're with, who you're there to support, but I think a couple of the directors that I've met are just amazing, and I consider them family. I think after you won USA and we met with the Connecticut team, I always, you know me, I'm a skeptic.
Mm-hmm.
The way that they just opened their arms to you and to me, and Chantel was with us,
Mm-hmm.
how they invited her in was just an amazing experience. And I'm not a pageant person. I've always said I'm the worst pageant mom ever because I don't know anything. I think it's just the friends, that there are really good people in pageants, and it's not what people think it is. It's not all, it's not, even though it's competitive, it's not a mean competitive type of thing. I
Mm-hmm.
think it really is so nice to have that support from other people, from other families. After you won, it's amazing how many people we met through pageants were excited for you.
Mm-hmm.
And excited for me, like, oh, congratulations, you did it. And I'm like, yes, I drove. I got that kind of thing. But it really has been, I don't know, being around pageants has been, I don't know, I found it fun. And I don't fit in, and that's okay. But everybody embraced me for not fitting in. I'm the one who sat by myself whenever they were announcing crowning. It was me and you.
Yeah.
You and I were at every pageant together. Most of the time, just me and you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would sit in the back by myself, and everybody knew, I was there, but they, gave me my space, and then I'd get excited and cheer, and then, everybody be happy. I think it's just, I think my best thing about pageants is seeing how supported you were through so many different people. And even though not everything was positive, not every person was positive, the ones that you pulled close, and I think some people actually for us, like, we know who we can go to for certain things, and we know who will always support you regardless if you do another pageant or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the best thing, that I saw that. And we get our
own tight-knit group.
Yeah, well, and we had rules around you doing pageants.
Yes.
And we stuck to them. And it may have frustrated you, but it worked for us.
Yeah. If anybody doesn't know, the rule we're talking about, I was only allowed to do one pageant a year, and I could only do natural pageants. And so, yeah, meaning like no makeup at all. Everything had to be age appropriate. And that's just kind of how it always worked growing up. If I were...
And whatever outfit you won at your local pageant, if you went on to a bigger pageant, you had to wear the same stuff, because I wasn't buying you stuff.
Yeah, one dress a year. Dresses can get expensive. I understand that now.
One suit a year, one dress a year. That's it.
Yeah. So, well, thank you, Mom, for chatting with me and coming out of your shell a little bit to do this live with me.
You do test me.
I do, a little bit. But yeah, it's all part of the fun, right? But thank you so much for joining me, and I love you so much, and I will hopefully see you soon.
Love you.